Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
and this is State of Atlanta. A little late on the pop there.
Was I? I don't know. I don't feel like I was.
I don't know. It seems like a little delayed. Anyhow, that's
A
fine.
little judgy, a little judgy on the pop there.
Well, it's just you and me. I'm going to get judgy. I'm judging when it's not just you and me. Yes,
David demands perfection.
We were supposed to have Ben Moore of 24/7 Sports, and anybody that Georgia State fan knows who Ben Moore is. We were supposed to have him on tonight, but the last minute family thing came up. He asked if we could do it another night, so we'll get Ben on another time. So you're stuck with Ryan and me, just with our typical banter back and forth with each other, because Tim's got work stuff this week, so could not be part of it. It happens. It happens. We all have lives. I mean, I don't have much of a life. This is pretty much my life. Georgia State's pretty much my life.
Say, I'm trying to cut a lot of other stuff out. So
I don't have much else going on. I mean, I've got the whole family thing. You got the family thing going on, but the kid thing. But yeah, that part sucks. This part, well, and actually, this part right now, Georgia State pretty much sucks as well.
yeah, it's pretty rough.
It was a bad week for the men's basketball team. We were actually on a 4-game losing skid after what we thought was turning the season around against Coastal Carolina.
No, you can go. You can rewind the tape. I was saying that was an outlier, and that we weren't seeing a turnaround.
You're right. I spoke, and I don't think any of us said it was a turnaround thing, but
yeah.
Just like that was an outlier. I think that the Marshall performance on Saturday is also an outlier. Now, granted, Marshall's a good team.
I think Marshall's really good.
Yeah, they're I think they're statistically the best team in conference right now, and I think Ben said they were the second best team we've played so far this season behind Auburn. And yeah, so
right.
It's not an outlier as far as we still suck or whatever, but we're not as bad as that game would suggest, but we're still not a good basketball team.
I was gonna say maybe we're not as bad as that game suggests, but we're a bad team. Like, we're not good even. We're frankly bad at this point. Everything like what we've been hoping for is that all the training that these guys have gotten their whole lives on how to play basketball would kick in at some point. They'd be able to sink some baskets, and they can't. They just can't do it, and we just need to have something else happen on this team for that part to click, and that part has to click. Just can't do it otherwise.
But it's weird. It's not like we're just getting air balls left and right. We're getting those, ring around the basket and out type thing, or just these what look like easy layups that are just not falling in, uncontested type shots that are not going in. And I'm just like, this is, I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me.
I mean, either we have to start believing in curses and that there's some powerful being who has cursed our program, or they're just not that good at shooting.
Yeah, well, so I think I mentioned this last week on the episode, and it still rings true today. Is I feel when I would watch our Coach Hunter teams, it felt like it was, we are better than you, and we're going to show you that on every single play. Even in games that we lost, we still embarrassed them by stripping the ball away and going for the easy shot, or taking a deep three and nailing it without even batting an eye. And now that's what's happening to us. We don't look like we know how to hold on to the ball. The ball's taken away. We look like we don't know what we're doing out there at so many times. And then there will be a bright spot where things look great for a shot or two, and it just reverts back to looking like garbage again. We're pretty good at stealing the ball, but we're not good at holding on to it. And I feel like we got spoiled. It's spoiled under the Coach Hunter years of having that amazing talent and that great coaching, and now that we're going through this transition, it just it's heartbreaking to watch these games.
Well, I think honestly, you're forgetting a lot of times when those teams made us sweat. They,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, there was definitely not like domination. We won a lot of games for sure, but
Right.
they came down to the wire frequently. We complained a lot about Hunter taking his foot off the gas too soon, right? That was like one
Right.
of our complaints about Hunter. But I will say that this team doesn't make us sweat at all because we know from start to
Yeah,
finish what's happening.
we're out in the first half. Like, the
Yeah,
game's
we're
already
never in it.
settled and done with, exactly. I think what was it? I think it was TDS. We started the game up 4-0 or 4-2 or something like that, and then just, pissed away the rest of it. Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. And then, this was a
Watch us
question I
win
was
that
gonna have
game.
for Ben. Oh, yeah. Well, the question I was gonna have for Ben tonight was like, can you please explain to me what's going on when a team can spend the first half getting down by, 12 to 20 points and then outscore the opponent in the second half? Because that's what happened with App State. I think it was App
Yeah.
State. It happened. It's happened several. Even if we're not outscoring
Couple
them, we
times.
play
Yeah.
significantly better in the second half, and it's just so frustrating. I'm like, if we could start the game after halftime, we would be winning a lot of these games.
Yeah, if only it was only half a game.
Our perpetual optimist, Grant here says, Georgia State basketball went 1-7 in the month of January. You should not be losing to Marshall by 49 points.
Yeah,
Oh,
you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be losing to anybody at 49 points. We are the premier program of the Sun Belt Conference since we joined back.
Right.
And
right.
we're getting, again, we are being made to look like how we made teams look like up until this point.
Right.
It's
any loss by us should be a tight win for the other team. It should be like spectacular. They should go back and cheer themselves on that they made such a big win because we're such a good team. And that's what we're used to. And right now, like, we're walking in being like, the hell are we going to watch?
Yeah, how much we're going to be down at halftime, or what's going to be?
Thank God they sell beer.
Oh yeah, my God! Could you imagine being in the sports arena and having to like just live off that buzz from the G deck and not being able to refill that during the game? Like, man, I don't know.
I'd have found ways to smuggle.
I don't know how anybody watches any of these games sober. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all.
I don't usually. Just I have been turning it on my TV, which you can see behind me, and playing video games on this computer while it's on, and I'm just listening to it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, whatever, man.
And on these away games, you got to listen to these horrible. I wonder if these programs, the fan bases of these other Sunbelt programs, actually think as highly of their announcers as we think of Dave, because there's no question about it. Dave Cohen is the best at his game. Like, when what's his face? When Skip Carey, whatever, the Braves guy that's leaving to go to the Cardinals, when he left, I'm like, Dave Cohen would be phenomenal in that job, but I don't want to leave. I don't want to lose him. I don't want him to go to Major League Baseball. I want him to stay here. But could you imagine?
To their credit, they probably aren't having their radio guy do it, but I think Dave Cohen is one of the best in the business. I have compared him favorably to Larry Munson, and I know, I mean, you might not think that's much, but like, I have no idea what you think of Larry Munson, but Larry Munson's like best in the biz.
Larry Munson, the famed Atlanta Falcons play caller.
Yeah. Red and black.
I know him well.
Right. Yeah,
I know him well. No, but I just wonder if these guys think as highly of these of their announcers, because they're not good. They're not good at all. But whatever. Let's see. Taylor had a question or comment. We'll get there. I at least thought the Coastal win could have led us making the jump from bottom feeders to a middle of the road team. Yeah, after that Coastal game, we were a game out of second place, 2 games out of first place. I mean, the Sun Belt was really sucking at that point, so everybody was pretty flat, and there was a chance for us to make some noise. But
well, look, if we determine that the top of the road is number 1 and the bottom of the road is the last place, which is Coastal, then we are definitely middle of the road. We're just, second to last.
Actually, right now Coastal is 2 games up on us in the standings in conference. They're 4-6 in conference.
God.
we're 2-8, but we're not last place. Thank God there are not divisions in Sunbelt basketball, because if there were, we'd be last place in the East. Now we can just say we're not last place, because Arkansas
Who's
State
last?
is pulling.
Okay, yeah.
Arkansas State at 1-9 is last place, and we get to play them. Not only do we get to play them, we get to play them on the road. This could be our chance to actually.
Let's not get too excited. Let's not get too excited.
we
get to play them.
We have Coastal and Arkansas State on the road after this week's games, and those are two chances we can actually win a road game, because we've not won a road game this entire season. Now, part of that is because we front loaded the entire out of conference schedule with home games because of the Convocation Center. So we
still get to play Coastal. We still get to play Coastal away, right? And we get to play Arkansas State away.
And back-to-back week, or back-to-back games. On the Thursday we're at Coastal, and then on Saturday we're at Arkansas State. We could actually have what they call in the business a win streak.
Boy. How exciting!
Well, after the Coastal game, I think it was Hudson that in the presser made a comment about that the team needed this. They needed to get that win. They needed that confident big win, and so which is one of those things that made me feel like now the guys, their heads are in it. We can move on. Of course, 4 game losses. 4 game losses since then. Hopefully, we can do this, replicate our performance against Coastal again, do the same thing against bottom feeder Arkansas State. The guys can get their heads into it and get that confidence they need to, do something with the end of the season, get into the conference tournament. And
we have said that the tournament is all that matters, right? Like none of this actually matters at all, because everyone gets in. And as long as you can win your games, you're all right. So maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe we're like, let's just not let anyone know who we are all season, and then just like
Coach Hayes,
just blow it up.
Coach Hayes playing Star Trek's 3D chess against checkers over here.
Yeah, to all our listeners, that is not likely, but it's fun to think about.
No, but so I feel like at this point, really the only way to kind of like salvage anything out of this season is based off what we've seen so far is in the conference tournament. If we win our first game in the conference tournament, I feel like, and then we lose the next one. We're like, all right, we ended the season, advancing in one round of the conference tournament. All right, things were changing for us, but I just don't know if this team has this seeding wise. We're going to be playing a really good well, I guess no, because the way they do their weird scheduling, we'd still be playing kind of a top of the middle of the pack type team because of the way they do the bye and stuff. But either way, but go ahead.
I still have faith that Coach Hayes is a good coach and has identified what needs he has, like what pieces that he needs for the team to make us good, and that he's out there finding that guy or those guys right now. And that next season is just not going to be the same at all, right? He has what he had to work with based on a short runway. He just got hired. He had to figure out how to recruit the program. And now he knows exactly what he needs and has the recruiting time. If we see, it's really hard to say we won't see any kind of jump forward because we're so bad. But I mean, I think we'll see a big jump forward next season. And I still am very firmly, we could lose every game this season, and I'm not hating on the coach.
Right. No, I agree. I still firmly believe that Coach Hayes is a not just a good coach, but is a good guy, and I think he's going to be able to do something with this. But we lost so much production from last year, and then lost even bench guys. We lost in the off season, so we had to bring in a whole new thing. And I guess if you go back about it, we were kind of told through people that were more closer to the program that we didn't have a lot of star shooters on this team. And that's what we've seen. That's been our problem, is guys that are actually able to, make the baskets. So again, another question I was going to have for Ben tonight was, was this type of a season staring us in the face all off season long, and we just so blinded by everything that we just thought that, of course we would continue to compete in this conference. So I know the answer was
I think it is very surprising how bad this team is at shooting.
Mhm.
I made the joke earlier about some greater entity has cursed us or something, but
Right.
it's vaguely not a joke how bad the shooting has been. As far as
Mhm.
you're a basketball player, dude. Like the ball goes in the basket. I mean, I can't believe I just it's hard for me to believe that the team is that bad, but they are.
I, I mean, and it's the shots that they're missing that are bad. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah. It's not like they're
you're
all super
asking
contested. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, they're not, they're not getting their asses beaten down on the court. They're taking easy layups or easy jump shots or, uncontested threes and just not going in. It's frustrating, but I definitely feel like that Coach Hayes is going to be the kind of guy that's going to. This may be an anomaly in his coaching career. Next year we'll get a little bit better. The next year we'll get even better, and keep it going that way. We'll see. We'll see. So we got 2
Yep.
games this
I have
week.
faith.
We got the Trash Down South comes a calling to the Convocation Center on Thursday, and they're doing a whiteout. They're doing a whiteout for that one. Some pregame is going to looks like they're actually trying to really promote this to the students. The game's at 7, but they have a pregame starting at 5:30. Whatever games, giveaways, and more. I'm always a big fan of more. There's going to be a DJ playing, pregame entertainment, the DJ, free food
Where?
to the first 100 students at the I guess that
you walk in and there's yeah, nice.
I mean, if I was a student, I would be bring an alumnus to game day and be like, all right, I'm gonna get all the free food and then I'll sell it to you for half off, and it would be a reasonable price for chicken tenders. $6.50 for some chicken tenders and fries is a reasonable price, but $12 is not Panther dining. So
I think I paid for a hot dog there one time, and it was a little pricey, but it was a good hot dog. Big, good hot dog. Not super mad at it.
I got my then 5-year-old daughter a hot dog there, and I was like, she wanted Skittles. I'm like, you eat this hot dog, you can get Skittles. And this hot dog is a massive, massive hot dog, and she's missing like 6 teeth because I beat her. I mean, because she loses them easily.
Because she's
and
5. That's why you beat her.
And,
5-year-olds are annoying.
Yeah. By the way, as you know, 6-year-olds are not much better. But anyhow, basically at that point, once I saw the hot dog and like her struggling with it, I was like, all right, 2 or 3 bites, I'll buy you Skittles at halftime. All right, and she devoured those Skittles. But yeah, so big whiteout. I'm gonna wear my Sex Panther shirt that I got.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
I don't know if I have a white shirt, but I don't really feel bad when there's like white out or black out or blue out, and I just wear my typical blue. I'm like, I'll be fine. It'll be fine.
If we were packing the Convocation Center out, like not an empty seat in there, and the cameras come out and like the pictures from the game, and you're the one person in a blue shirt and a sea of white, yeah, then you done wrong. But when we are the lower bowl is probably getting like 20% filled out. I'm not worried about you wearing a blue shirt, wearing a black shirt.
We'll probably have a lot more people there for this game, though, because it's TDS. I mean, we always have better turnout for all the TDS games. Always.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what kind of reaction we get from the TDS fans about coming into the box after coming to Sports Arena for the past forever years.
And like rightfully ragging on us about it.
Yeah, well, they're going to say bad things. They're going to talk about how crappy it is for this or that, or no center scoreboard, or the high school scoreboard on the opposite side of the big digital boards or whatever. They're going to complain. It's still better than with the garbage they're building. They hate what they're building, so screw those guys.
I mean, is it do they just have like one of those like corrugated aluminum ceilings on it, and then you just gotta bundle up?
Yeah, they're actually playing inside of their indoor practice facility. They just lay down some tiles.
They think that's indoor, so I just was worried if maybe that's where they're gonna play basketball is like inside. They could call that an indoor basketball arena because they all are, right?
I don't know if you remember, but when they announced it and they got all the fans were complaining about it, they compared it to like Northeast Georgia's new basketball facility, and they posted pictures of it. I'm like, yeah, that really does look like a Division II. I don't know if it's Northeast Georgia. I'm making it up, but it was. They compared it
Sure.
to some other like Division II program or NAIA or non-competing program in a college in Georgia. I'm like, yeah, it does kind of look like that. Enjoy your next 25 years, TDS.
Well, and the convocation center is so nice. It's going to be really hard for them to actually find stuff to complain about. What our complaints have been is the execution of opening and like what the actual game day experience has been, which is
Yeah,
not
and we
the building itself. The building itself is beautiful,
no,
wonderful. Did a good
yeah,
job with that.
knocked it out of the park. It's great. Yeah, I've got no
Yep.
complaints there, and I'm not even one to complain about the lack of the overhead center scoreboard. That just really doesn't bother me that much. I think it looks good the way it is. We'll get it eventually, most likely. Not playing like we do now, but yeah.
Well, we didn't have one in the
We'll get
sports
it.
arena for a really long time, right? I mean, that's why I was surprised we didn't have one now, because I was like,
we had
we have a brand new one.
one, but it was like not what RJ bought us, because that was literally, we got that after the shot. It was a season after that. Then we got the I'm pretty sure that maybe I'm lying, but I'm pretty sure it was the season.
Misremembering. I don't think you're lying. You just maybe not right.
Oh no, I say a lot of stuff that I don't believe at all.
Well, do you not believe that?
I don't know.
Oh boy,
I've got no idea.
Jesus.
Let's see. Let's look at what kind of we got a few comments coming here.
All right.
Let's see. Cynical Peach being negative on.
Well, see, cynical. So.
Yeah, being negative on the entire Georgia State athletics program.
Well, let's see it. Don't just read them.
Right.
Like, what are you doing, man?
Well, I didn't want to. Georgia State basketball is my pick-me-up from our feckless football program. GSU athletics in 2022-23 has been depressing. Baseball/softball is really our last hope for something good. Hey, don't sleep on beach volleyball, man. Come on, dude. We're like conference champs in beach volleyball. Made it to, I think, finished 4th in the nation. Come on, BVB. That's where it's at. We got a thumbs up from Mojo Productions, and see what Taylor say here.
Coach Stromdahl has some big shoes to fill there.
Imagine a scenario where we knock out Bobby and the Cajuns early in the Sun Belt tournament as heavy underdogs. That would be a decent.
I would take that. In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's almost better because we suck.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, if our one win in the conference tournament is against Lafayette, absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
TDS for Lafayette. Yeah.
TDS, Lafayette, Marshall, really anybody, because we can't win a game.
Nah, Marshall, I don't care so much about Marshall. Marshall, I'm not very invested in.
Marshall only because of the loss that we had on Saturday. But yeah, anytime you beat Bob Marlin, if your last one of the season is beating Bob Marlin, you had a good season. So
and knocking him out of the tournament would just be fantastic and really great for the rivalry.
Mm-hmm. I concur.
Sorry, I had a shorter comment than you expected there with your beer drink.
Take a drink of the beer. Yeah. Let's see. I had a couple questions for Ben. Let's see what we can make up to answer them.
I can make shit up. This will be great. Just ask me like you would ask Ben, and I'll see if I can answer it.
All right. So this is a question. Tim and I were kind of talking about this ourselves over the past week, and it was kind of a concern of mine, is like after these games, like, how worried are you to lose the locker room at this point? Just the players giving up on the season. And I know not a single athlete, a competitive athlete or a coach will ever say that people give up halfway through or, before the end of the season. But there's those mental gaps where you're kind of like, you realize that you're most likely out of it, even though you're not, because of the conference tournament. But, where are we at on that spot, on just giving up?
So this is going to be really harsh. And I apologize to any players who are listening, maybe, or any coaches, but how could you tell the difference?
We lose all the games by 48 points.
They get out there and they definitely hustle. And so, like, I guess you could see something like that. Like if somebody was like obviously not like booking it back and forth and all that stuff, but like really the team is just doesn't have it. They don't have all the pieces they need, and it just is very apparent. And I don't know how they could. It's real bad. It's bad right now.
Yeah, it's a fair answer to the question. It's a fair answer question.
We have good pieces. I really, and I said this a week or two ago. That like I think if we had, a decent shooter and a good shooter, on the team somewhere, even if it was like off the bench or something, just as just those pieces, we would be a better than average team based on other play that's happening on the court, right? Like we've had a really strong defense. We've done some good things with the ball, with stealing. We just can't, convert on that very well. And I feel like if we had those pieces of offense, we would be better than average.
Yeah,
Maybe even one guy.
Yeah. Our problems are fixable. Our problems are fixable. We're getting so close to the basket. We just got to get that. Just got to get it in. Just got to get it in there.
So. Magnets, guys. Magnets. Just got to figure it out.
Exactly.
Cheat to win, baby.
Exactly. All right. So TDS.
Yeah, wait. No, it's what David always says. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So TDS on Thursday, Southern Miss on Saturday, 2 p.m. game. So tailgate begins no later than noon o'clock on Saturday. Sound about right?
Yeah, and I heard you're doing corn dogs.
Oh no, not for this game. No, that is an idea I had after last week's podcast. Was I don't know why I just decided to start looking up tailgate deep fryers, and yeah, I want to do a corn dog tailgate, but it won't. I don't have it yet. I mean, I could probably order it.
You got a week to get it. Yeah.
Well, no, I got 4 days to get it. We'll see. Corn dogs do sound good. Yeah. Southern Miss at noon. We'll have a tailgate at noon. We'll have a good time there. I think that's it for basketball, right? We've done 30 minutes on basketball.
That's okay. That's mostly what we got to talk about, right?
Yeah, I was going to talk to Ben about signing day tomorrow, what we should expect and what's still out there. But you and I don't know anything about that. You gave up on recruiting a long time ago. I've never cared about recruiting.
I did. It's super recruiting. We can still talk a little generally about recruiting if tomorrow is signing day, but you can be as excited as you want about a guy. And it doesn't really matter because when they show up on a college football team, it's going to be different. And the guy who you didn't see coming is going to be the star of the team. And the guy who is the star of his team now and has the best highlights and just has all the right moves, he's going to bomb and never amount to anything. And I mean, it's not 100% both ways, but it's such a pick 'em. I mean, it's who cares?
Gamble.
It's so hard to figure out. It's just such a guess.
I wish I was more into it. I wish I really got more into recruiting and all that kind of stuff. But I just, for those exact reasons you mentioned, I have a hard time getting excited about somebody. And then also a tweet I saw today by the group of 5 guys said 100% committed is the new I'll think about it. Because that's what a lot of stuff is. And I know once you get to signing, signing day, it's a whole different deal. But you get excited about following, you're looking at 100 different guys, of which you're going to hopefully get, a dozen or so. And it's hard for me to pay attention to that many people. And I don't know. And then again, once they get there, you could have your highest rated recruit ever, peter out, and then a walk-on like Tucker Gregg come out and become the best player you've ever seen in
30-year-old to ever play college football.
So so I don't know.
I want to so I'll even give an example. So Kyler Neal, I was when he came out of high school, I was super excited about him. His highlights, I thought they were special. I was like, holy crap, this guy is good. And sure enough, he actually came. He produced quite a bit, and he was a star on the team. We were all very excited to see him. But he'd get a big hit, and he was dropping the ball. I mean, every time he was dropping the ball with a big hit. And we know more about that he always was sort of had a thing about the scary linebacker on the other team. He only faced 1 or 2 scary linebackers per season when he was in high school. Once he was in college, there were all the linebackers
every
were
week.
scary linebackers every week.
Every
Yeah,
every s
exactly.
every single week. Yeah, that's the one thing, obviously people that do this for a living and really get into it, they know what to look for. But yeah, you have somebody that if they're the best player, they've always been the best player on their team. They've always been the best player on the field against another team their entire career. And then they get to a team where everyone was that person. Everyone was the
Right.
best player on their team. And now
Yep.
everything has changed. And everybody you're playing at the Division 1 level was the best player on their team. So yeah,
Yep.
it changes everything. It changes everything.
And then
So
it
it's
happens
just so
again
hard.
3 to 4 years later for the NFL. And
NFL, yeah.
you see it time and time again. First round picks are actually not as good. You start seeing these third and fourth round picks that are the ones who end up being the stars of the show, to the point where I'm like, hey, trade your freaking first round picks for a bunch of third and fourth round picks. Like, just do it.
That
Like, who
that's
cares? You're gonna get good people down there,
that's the Bill Belichick way. I mean, the
unless you need a
Patriots rarely.
quarterback.
Yeah, and even then, it depends on the year
And
that you
even
actually want to
then,
draft a quarterback. Yeah. So, I don't see the Falcons taking one this year because I don't. Yeah. Anyhow,
well, they're settled, right? We're good at quarterback with the Falcons. I'm
I,
just kidding.
well, we're better than the Niners are doing. So I can give them that much. Did you see what happened in that NFC Championship game with the Niners quarterback?
No.
I guess Brock Purdy was like I think like the third string quarterback for them.
Yeah,
Like,
he
and
was
then
he was like a
he
fourth or fifth round pick or something
no,
crazy.
he was Mr. Irrelevant. He
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
there you go.
last pick
Yeah.
in the draft. And so then he goes out on the first play of the NFC Championship game. Oh, like his elbow hit the player's helmet or he injured something, whatever. So now they got to bring in another quarterback. That guy gets injured. So they put Brock Purdy back in, but he can't throw. So they could only hand the ball off. And
Oh.
that's how the garbage from Philadelphia is in the Super Bowl because the Niners didn't have a quarterback that could throw the ball or do
Do you know
anything.
do you know I didn't watch that game, but the amount of shit I've seen talked by Phillies fans about, like, in general, without that key information is
Yeah.
astounding. I mean, they are the worst fan base.
They are. I watched what is that movie? The Hustle or something. It's an Adam Sandler movie about the NBA on Netflix. And
Mhm.
he works as a scout for the 76ers, and he's bringing this guy in from Eastern Europe, whatever, forget where he came from. And he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna love Philadelphia. They're the best fans." And he like pauses. He's like, "Well, they're the worst fans, which makes them the best fans." It's like it's an accurate description of
Depends on what you're
Philadelphia
looking
fans.
for, really. I mean,
All right. Off of pro stuff. Let's see. We've
that's
got
okay.
tra-
We had to fill a
transfer
time
portal,
somewhere. We only have 2 of
basketball.
us.
Exactly. Not much left. Shout out to women's basketball. They won back-to-back games, including a win against JMU, who was the number one
Nice.
team in the conference. Congrats to the ladies. I started
And David
tweeting
always
out.
likes beating JMU because JMU is a rival in his eyes.
I always like beating the number one team in the conference. So in
There we
this
go.
crappy, shitty conference we're in. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I want to talk about. Not a lot, but a little bit. A couple of or a few of the football players got some NIL merchandise deals. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm burping over here. And I think it's awesome. Darren Granger. I think Darren Granger is a super cool logo. It looks like a D. It looks like a G. It looks like a 3. It's a very well designed logo. I think it's awesome. Marcus Carroll's got some stuff. Cradle's got some stuff. And I right before we came on, I tweeted out to any Georgia State athlete that wants it. If you got an NIL deal, tag us in your announcement. We will promote it as much as we can. We'll do whatever. I'll probably buy at least one thing from every Georgia State player that gets some kind of deal out there. Just to support, So I think it's pretty cool.
I didn't realize that it looks like a D, it looks like a G, it looks like a 3. I thought it only looked
You
like a
don't
3.
you don't have that creative eye that I have.
I was also only looking on my phone.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And I was trying to make some kind of joke about the baby onesie because there's a onesie in there, and
That's all-
passing the ball versus running and something. I had something, but I couldn't quite get there.
Well, my thing when I saw that was, when I had my first kid, I wanted to buy Georgia State's onesies and stuff for her, and they didn't really sell anything. The one or two things they had were absolute garbage. So at least Darren Granger is taking
Get
care.
Darren
But
Granger onesie.
but so I think someone said that he had a kid, or he just had a kid like recently or something. So maybe that was on the mind when he was picking out the stuff. Was he wanted to make sure his kid had a onesie to wear of him. So yeah,
No
Becca. Becca says, sounds like you guys should be going to the ladies' games. I will go to any Georgia State game that my wife allows me to go to. And my daughter did say she wanted to go to the women's basketball games. So I will utilize
you're
that to all
going.
of my advantage. Looks like I'm going. So I got one joke to make about Lafayette, but we can do that in last call. Or we can talk about it here.
Yeah, that's a good cliffhanger or whatever, like a tease. We got jokes for Lafayette at last call. Woo!
It's about how much they suck. So, which obviously is going to be about that anyhow.
Nice.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Sorry that Ben didn't make it on tonight like we had promoted out there, but we will get him on another date. We did a pretty good job. Tim will be proud, or he won't. Anyhow, thanks for listening. We are going to go over to last call, drink some more beer. I'll probably down this vodka. It's been staring at me the entire time, and make some fun of Lafayette. Talk about the episode. We'll just shoot the shit for a little bit. You can find
our
Sausage Fest as well. Ryan's done some practicing on his sausage, and you can find it on our Patreon page.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Patreon.com/State of Atlanta. It is free of charge for last call. It comes out delayed on Fridays unless you're a Patreon member, $3 a month. Early access to last call. You also get access to our private group chat with all of our patrons, which is a lot of fun. And we talk about Georgia State pretty much every day. And discounts on merchandise, whatever we can do for the members that help pay for all of our stuff here. Yeah, that's about it, right?
I know we've dropped it a couple times, but 12 o'clock next Saturday for the home game. We'll be tailgating on the 4th and the 11th. And on the 11th, we are tailgating and we're doing Sausage Fest. So come on out.
Homemade.
Make some sausage. Bring it, or just come taste our sausage.
Yeah, let us put our meats in your mouth. Actually, we won't put our meats in your mouth. You will put our meats in your mouth. I'm not going to actually shove my meat in your mouth. That seems a little forced. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening. And say goodbye, Guy.
Goodbye, Guy.